Well, hello, everybody. This is your host, Valerie Kinnae, with another round of how to live and thrive in the rich flow of life. Today, our featured guest is Dan Christian. Dan is the author of the book, Dealership Deceit. It's about how to buy your next car for way less money than you could have ever possibly imagined. Dan is down to earth, and he has committed his life to tell you the truth as he spells it all out and gets right down to the nitty-gritty to pull the lid on the dealership frenzy. Dan has spent over a decade fine-tuning his very own innovative techniques that he uses and teaches you step by step how to purchase your next car for far less money than you could have ever possibly imagined. Dan is the master teacher and trainer who holds nothing back to give you everything you need to take control over dealership negotiations, and that would definitely put you in the driver's seat. Isn't that right, Dan? Welcome, Dan.
Oh, yes. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Welcome to the show, Dan. I'm so glad you found time to take out for us today to tell us all about this dealership deceit. We cannot wait to hear. Take it away, Dan.
Well, thank you so much, Valerie, for that very humbling introduction. I feel kind of humble and blushing a little.
Okay.
A lot about that.
You deserve it. You deserve it.
Well, thank you. Well, and I'm really glad that I have had the chance to speak a little bit about my book.
Go ahead.
One big issue that I notice with a lot of people who are looking to buy cars at dealerships is there's a lot of things they could be doing to get the price just a little bit lower. A lot of the dealership is a very intimidating environment for people to go into. You're always harassed or you're hassled by salespeople, dealership managers, and it's very nerve-wracking being in there.
It is.
So
it's a frenzy.
Yeah, for sure. So what I did is I put together a bit of a guide to teach people what kinds of things they should know even before entering the dealership, what to say to salespeople and dealership managers once they're in the dealership to make sure that they get the best possible price, and to how to make sure that when they sign the end of that purchase agreement, to make sure that that's the price that they agreed to when they were doing negotiating. Okay.
And what kind of research should a buyer do before heading to the dealership?
Well, first of all, a buyer needs to know, of course, what kind of car they want. So a lot of people, it makes sense that if your family is getting a little bit larger, that if you're driving a coupe, that it makes that you should get a little bit of a larger car to fit your family in. But in talking to people, I notice a lot of people get a little bit bored with their vehicles, and they get very enamored with the new features that cars are starting to come out with, where the newer cars. So first, I want people to understand why is it that they want to buy another car. Is it because they need it, or is it because they're just in love with the new features that are coming out? So there's actually a whole bunch of things that you can do to the car that you're currently driving that maybe you should take a look at. So, for instance, if there's a new navigation system that just came on the market that you love, yes, it might cost a little bit of money to have that installed in your current car, but having that installed in your current car is actually a lot cheaper than going out and purchasing another car. Something that I actually, something that I actually recently did was I had my car detailed. So I actually took it to a car wash, and they just cleaned the inside out. They did a very thorough cleaning. It only costed around $100 or 70 pounds. And when I got my car back, it felt like I bought a brand new car. I didn't even recognize it. So that's something to even consider. Another thing a person needs to consider is, should they buy new or should they buy used?
Right. That's a good question.
What I do teach people is how to get the most out of their money that they're spending. And most of us know, even though we don't want to admit it, that new cars, as soon as you buy the car, it loses 20 to 30% of the value right away.
Wow, is it that high then?
And yeah, that is really high, because if you buy a car even 2 or 3 years old, the value, it only loses 5 to 10% of the value a year after you buy the car.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So another thing I want people to understand is, can they live with waiting a year or two if there's a car they really love and waiting to buy a used version of the car?
Oh,
and lastly,
okay.
Yeah. And lastly, I want people to shop around, look for more than one dealership who is selling the car, and negotiate with multiple dealerships at the same time rather than just one dealership.
I understand.
A lot of people, they like to go to one dealership, negotiate with one salesman or saleswoman, and believe what they're telling them about the price. But people need to go to multiple different dealerships, have multiple negotiations, and have them bid against each other to give you the best possible deal.
I'm just wondering, Dan, what if you go to, say you're on your first dealership and you're shopping around and you've done your research, and the salesperson say, well, the car won't be here if you come back on tomorrow. What happened if they put the pressure on you that their car is a hot commodity and it might not be there if you come back on tomorrow if you want to do your shop around like you suggest? How do you get around that?
Yeah. And you know what? That's a really great question. And you know what I tell people? I tell people to, if they feel comfortable doing so, and I suggest this, put a refundable deposit down on that car.
Very good.
So make sure that the deposit, if you know that the deposit's going to be refundable, get that in writing, then put a deposit down. And I have a very special technique, actually, regarding this deposit on how you can get the dealership to lower the price even more.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And then what are some of the common mistakes that you have encountered with over the years of working in this industry? What common mistakes do car buyers make? I know you said that we should shop around. Don't stop at one or two, even three. Go to as many as you can. But what other common mistakes do people typically make?
Well, and that's a really excellent question. And there's two big ones that I want to talk a little bit about. Yes. The first one is when you talk to a salesperson and then they tell you that the car, as you mentioned in the previous scenario, where the car is either not going to be available the next day or the pricing is only going to be that way that particular day, and they have you sign the bottom of the form saying that you are obligated to buy the car today, that signature is actually not legally binding. Make sure you read through the contract, of course, and make sure that you're covered. But 99% of the cases, that signature is not legally binding. That is a psychological technique that salespeople use to intimidate you into thinking you have to purchase that car or something bad will happen.
Well, I'm curious, Dan, to know, is there one general contract that they use, or every dealership has their own specific contract?
Okay, well, every dealership has their own contract. However, there are certain elements that show up on all the different contracts they use. Yes.
Okay.
So when I teach people how to buy cars at the dealership, I tell them to look for 4 specific boxes. The 4 specific boxes are the trade-in value of your current car, the amount you're going to put down for the current car purchase, the amount that you're willing to finance on a monthly basis, and the total purchase price of the car. Now, what people need to understand is when they do visit the dealership to negotiate a price for the car, they think they're maybe just negotiating a purchase price or negotiating a monthly payment. But the salesperson is actually negotiating 4 different things at the same time. And salespeople are very, very good. Salespeople are very, very good at balancing these 4 boxes to make you as a customer think you're getting the deal that you want, yet they'll still somehow find a way, make sure that they get a good commission and the dealership gets a good profit off your purchase.
That is great to know. But by right, since they are in business, like you suggest and recommend getting the car for far less than you could ever possibly imagine. But is it fair exchange also that the car dealership can make money if we get them down to a low price? Are they still able to make money like that, Dan?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Especially
Okay.
since what I'm teaching. Yes, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Dealerships will still make at least a couple of $1,000s off the purchase of your car. Now, if you use the techniques that I teach you, they won't be able to make extra money off extra perks that they might offer you afterwards. And as well, dealerships won't be able to charge much higher than the black book value of your car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. This is really good stuff. I didn't know any of this, so I'm really learning, because at some point, maybe into the next year, I will be looking to buy a car, because it's been years since I've had a car. And so this book is very helpful for me to navigate what to do, how to do it. So I'm loving this, Dan. I'm glad you wrote the book. And then what are some of the tips that you can give people about dealerships that managers do to lower their asking price?
Okay, so the big thing, and I think I was mentioning it a little bit earlier on, is to leave a deposit at the dealership. But when you do the negotiation, with the first dealership and you leave the deposit, make an excuse that you have to do something like pick up your kids, or you have to go let the dog out at home. But instead of actually doing that, go to another dealership, negotiate with them, leave another refundable deposit, tell them what you have with the first dealership, and, of course, naturally, the second dealership will give you a better price than the first dealership. And once you've signed this form, say you need to go back to the first dealership and get your money back. After you do that... And is that
usually to get back, Dan? Will they not give you a hassle about that, getting your money back?
It gives a bit of a hassle. Yeah, and that's what I kind of warn readers about. This is it's not going to be easy to get your deposit back. Dealerships would rather give you a better price. So, they'd rather give you a better price, or they'll throw in stuff like free winter tires, free oil change package, free other upgrades. So what I teach people to do is, instead of focusing on getting the dealership to lower the price, focus on trying to ask for your deposit back.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, that is very cool. Then one of the things I've always wondered, like at the end of the sale when you do commit to the buy, is it really necessary to take that warranty on the used cars, or does it matter? I just don't know.
You know what? That's an excellent question again. Getting the extended warranty in most cases is not necessary at all, because of the way the warranties are set up. If you think about it, if you purchase an extended warranty at a dealership, you are really making a bet with the dealership that your car will need more service on it than the cost of your warranty. And dealerships make the same bet with you, except they're betting that they're going to take in more money from you for the warranty than the amount of money they're going to need to spend fixing your car. As we know, dealerships make tons of money. Dealerships are in the business of, that's their number one thing, unfortunately. They want to turn a profit. They're not going to offer a product which loses them money, and having to spend money fixing your car under warranties that the dealerships offer would actually lose them money if you think about it.
I get it.
Now,
Understood.
But what is important, though, is when you buy your used car, make sure that it's still under the manufacturer's warranty, the original warranty. Warranties are transferable from owner. They're transferable from owner to owner. So when you get possession of your car, you don't need to do anything. But if you need to have warranty work done on the car, then you can either go to the dealership or an authorized service, and they'll just check to make sure that it's covered under the warranty and do the work pretty much for free.
Awesome.
So that's it, and I'm glad you asked that question.
That is some awesome insight, Dan, and I'm so glad for this book. Like I said, it's going to become my Bible over the next year. I'll be so equipped and prepared when I go and get my car. I'm so grateful and glad that you put it out. It's wonderful. Are there any final thoughts that you want to leave us with, Dan, as we're bringing our call to an end?
Well, I'm really glad I had the chance to come on here and talk a little bit about my book. I really hope that car buyers or future car buyers, what they can actually do is visit my website at www.dealershipdeceit.com. And what I have on there is a free download of the 7 ways dealerships deceive customers into paying more than they need to. So I have that free report, which will already save you a couple of $1,000s if all you do is just read that. So I encourage you to visit that website and take a look at that.
Very cool. And then what, do you have any kind of training that you do with people in specific, Dan, or just your book and your website?
There's a lot of stuff on my book and my website, but if people want to do informed consultations with me, I do offer that. If they live in Western Canada, I'll actually offer services where I'll go with people and help them negotiate with them at dealerships. And teach them, show them my method. So not only they do it for this one car purchase, they and the people that they know can use these techniques in the future for all the cars that they plan to purchase.
Excellent. You can't ask for anything better than that. You get Dan himself in living color. Dan, it's been awesome, and I really appreciate you. Yeah, and I thank you for coming on with us today and giving us that wonderful, incredible insight on Dealership Deceit. What a fabulous name for your book, too. Is there anything else, or is that it for now?
Yeah, no, I think that it's good. There's a lot of information, a lot of ground that we covered, Valerie, and I'm really glad you gave me the chance to talk. So thanks, Valerie, for that.
You're welcome. Goodbye, Dan. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye, Valerie.